Remember that Maduro was indicted under the narco-terror charges. This is the latest that we're tracking at this hour, visuals of which present on your screens at the moment. Well, the Venezuelan president, who has now been captured by the United States, has been brought to New York. He's currently present at the US Drugs Enforcement Center, visuals of which NDTV has accessed. Now, Maduro, remember, was indicted under the narco-terror charges. Him, alongside his wife, in fact, have been captured by the United States and have been brought to New York. On this, my colleague Sheetal joining us on the broadcast. Sheetal, walk us through the details. What exactly is happening in the United States with Maduro?
At this point, it's a frenzy in front of the Metropolitan Detention Center. I'll just take you through a walk. Here we have a lot of people who are holding Venezuelan flags, and it is likely that Maduro is being brought in right now because I see a couple of vans with sirens on, and just look at that side of the street. It's like people have gathered there. Maduro is probably being brought into the detention center right now. I have spoken to some of the people, and they said that they are celebrating his arrest and looking forward to see him face the U.S. laws. And at this point, a lot of people have been moved from this side of the detention center to that side because probably Maduro is being brought in to the detention center as this second as we speak.
Help us understand how exactly is the sentiment panning out on ground. You said that there were flags of Venezuela that were outside the center.
Absolutely. People have even started selling Venezuelan flags out here, and people are waving these flags. Just behind me is a street which is very busy right now. People who are moving on in their vehicles are honking their horns, and flags have been waved while they are in the cars. So as you can imagine, people are really celebrating the arrest of Maduro, and the sentiment is just the same. All the people from Venezuela who have been living in the US are actually celebrating his arrest right now.
But, this is, of course, a celebratory angle of this. Is there also any dissent when it comes to, people of Venezuela living in the United States?
As of now, what I can see in New York, I don't see any dissent happening around me. People are celebrating, they're chanting, they have their loved ones on video calls with them, showing the minutes of how the Maduro incident is unfolding in New York right now. It's going to be midnight soon in New York City, but you see a lot of people out and about with flags on their shoulders, holding them in their hands, and even waving them while they're passing in their cars on the street behind me. And it's possible that Maduro is going to be brought in anytime soon. And with all the people around here, it's possible that these people are also going to wait until he's brought in. So I just have to say that the sentiment that I'm seeing around me is of happiness, is of joy, and is very celebratory.
But now also wish to understand, walk us through the charges that, of course, Maduro is facing. We know that him and his wife have been captured by the US. Under what grounds is the US prosecuting him?
Absolutely. The charges that he and his wife, along with 3 other defendants that they are facing, is conspiracy for narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import cocaine into the US soil, drug trafficking, and possession of machine guns, including destructive devices. While a lot of Democrats have taken to social media platforms and they are saying that it's not about the drugs, but it is rather about the oil and the capture of Venezuelan soil. But it is just about time that we see how this unfolds. But these are the charges that Maduro is facing and his wife is facing. And they have been brought into DEA office in downtown New York, where they will be fingerprinted and their mugshots will be taken and they will be put into the system of US border control. And after that, I'm assuming that all that is done, which is why we see all the frenzy here. And he will be brought to this detention center in Brooklyn, which is called the Metropolitan Detention Center. And it is also the infamous detention center where Jeffrey Epstein's aide, Ghislaine Maxwell, was also kept. And currently, John P. Diddy is also kept in this same detention center.
Right, Sheetal, and I also wish to understand, because you've also mentioned something extremely interesting, which is about oil. And, even Maduro himself has said that, whatever the United States or Donald Trump rather is planning is because they want Venezuela's oil. Walk us through what exactly is that controversy about?
As you know, that Venezuela is probably undoubtedly one of the largest oil reserves on the planet, and obviously the U.S. now wants to capture that, allegedly wants to capture that soil so that they can have control over oil. And as you know, that there is also a lot of oil in Middle East Europe, but the U.S. has not been able to capture that. So maybe U.S. is now trying to capture the land where oil is in large quantities in South America, and Venezuela happens to be at the crossroads of that juncture right now. And possibly it's not about the drugs, as Democrats are saying. It's about oil and capture. And as we know that the opposition leader in Venezuela, which happens to be I'm forgetting her name right now. I'm sorry. The Venezuelan opposition leader, she doesn't have a lot of respect or power in Venezuela, as Donald Trump earlier said. So it's going to be very difficult for her to capture Venezuela. But let's see how that unfolds in Venezuela right now. But as I can tell you from behind me, people have started gathering towards the detention center. You can see behind me. That's what's happening right now. You see the Venezuelan flags, and people are celebrating right now. The traffic has been controlled a little bit. There is no more honking, but let's see. It's about time what happens next.
Right, absolutely, Sheetal. I think the name that you were forgetting was, in fact, Maria Corina Machado, who has, in fact, even written a letter, of course, hailing the US President Donald Trump's decision to, of course, take the Venezuelan president as well as his wife into custody. I also wish to understand, you've mentioned that there are flags, that there is a lot of support when it comes to the Venezuelan president. Help us understand what are the key reasons why there seems to be dissent amongst Venezuelans in the US.
I think a lot of people have migrated to the US because of the force and, the government that happens to be there. They're not happy with how things have been unfolding in Venezuela for a while now. And now that the Venezuelan president is going to face the law in the US, probably these people are happy about the fact that he's finally going to face justice for all the things that he might have done in Venezuela, and people might be celebrating that.
Right, and I believe that, there were also claims that said that, the elections that were held in 2024, a lot of people said that the elections were not conducted in a rightful manner. And it was, in fact, Edmundo Gonzalez who, in fact, deserved to be in power. What exactly is that about?
A lot of people did not actually take Maduro as the president, including the US. The US refused to believe that Maduro is the president, did not recognize him as the president, which is why things are unfolding the way they are right now. But it's just about the fact that people don't believe that the elections have been up to the mark or with the right spirit in the past. And there have been a lot of ups and downs in the political scenario in Venezuela, which is why we see so much frenzy around us. People have migrated to the US from Venezuela because of the regime that's there. And that's also one of the reasons why people are celebrating his arrest today.
Absolutely, Sheetal. In fact, for the benefit of our viewers who are just tuning in right now, walk us through what exactly is happening behind you, where you're present, so they understand better what exactly is happening in the United States, where, of course, the Venezuelan president as well as his wife have been brought.
Absolutely. Also, I just want to point out that there have been some US news outlets reports that claim that his wife apparently did not get off the plane with him. So we are not sure whether they are being accompanied together or Maduro is being brought alone. So that's one of the points of contention that we have. And it's just about time. I'll try to see how that unfolds at the detention center. So for the viewers who are just joining in, I'm currently at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, in New York, wherein Maduro is going to be brought in after being fingerprinted and getting his mugshot done at the DEA office in downtown New York.